Chapter 481. Qi Xiaodao looked at Xikong Toqian taking out the puppets and said in surprise. This is too much. Is this the 72 transformations? Transforming into 72 versions of himself at once. The puppets looked exactly like Xikong Toqian. The little mud eel shouted loudly. My grandpa's ultimate attack is here too. The earthen cannon opened an extremely large black hole. The little mud eel roared. Taste my grandpa's unrivaled dimensional spiritual domain great expulsion. Boom. The cannon fired. Dimensional black holes appeared in the sky. The Tiger Emperor, who was fleeing and dodging, was trapped by the dimensional black holes. All the black holes merged. The Tiger Emperor had no way to escape and was swallowed. Just before dying, the Tiger Emperor screamed tragically. No. With the tragic scream, the Tiger Emperor vanished. Many people stared blankly at this scene. Young geniuses and older generation true persons and ancient saints all gasped. This was a 9-ring ancient saint. This was an existence that could absolutely suppress and slay ancient saints, yet he was dealt with by a fat mud eel. It was too unbelievable. No one would believe such a story. The little mud eel shouted loudly. Damn it. Daring to oppose my young master, a fool who doesn't know the immensity of heaven and earth. The little mud eel aimed the earthen cannon at the marquises and ancient saints of the Tiger Roar sect and the raging immortal holy nation. Rumble, 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 rumble. The little mud eel fired a barrage of projectiles. If struck, whether marquis or ancient saint, they would vanish. The scene made people's hair stand on end. This was even more terrifying than being reduced to dust. Rumble, 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 rumble. Barrages of projectiles rang out. Wherever the little mud eel aimed its cannon, chaos erupted. The marquises and ancient saints of the Tiger Roar sect and the raging immortal holy nation scattered in a panic, not daring to block the little mud eel's cannon fire. Xikong Toqian also erupted. Kill. The wooden puppets looked like incarnations of Xikong Toqian. His strength was already very powerful, no less than any monstrous genius. Now, the wooden puppets were each given several treasures and divine weapons by Xikong Toqian. Their power was unimaginable. In an instant, the marquises and ancient saints of the raging immortal holy nation and the Tiger Roar sect screamed tragically. The powerhouses died. A rain of blood filled the sky. Screams echoed across the plains. The little mud eel and Xikong Toqian swept through the thousands of glorious marquises, true persons, and ancient saints of the Tiger Roar sect and the raging immortal holy nation. Li Qiye stood still, watching impassively. This scene made everyone's faces pale. They gasped. It was too defying of heaven. Only now did everyone realize why Li Qiye dared to challenge the raging immortal holy nation and the Tiger Roar sect. He had planned this all along. Humph. In the midst of the bloody battle, high up in the sky, in a place shrouded in clouds where no one could see, a pair of eyes shone brightly. The eyes were incredibly terrifying, like an ancient giant beast awakening. Overbearing aura surged to the sky in the profound, hidden place. The person in the dark intended to strike, but a cold voice rang out from deeper within. Stop the attack. The time is not right yet. The old undying figure in the darkness could hardly bear the anger. This little brat is too overbearing. An old, icy voice rang out in the darkness. Someone will deal with him. It is not our time to strike yet. Judging by the pattern of the Heavenly Tao Academy splitting, bear with it a little longer. The Heavenly Tao Academy is about to collapse. Compared to the Heavenly Tao Academy's million-year emperor foundation, what are a few thousand ordinary disciples? The old undying figure in the darkness restrained himself. The bright eyes closed. In the midst of the battle, Li Qiye looked toward the distant sky. The corner of his mouth curved up. Some people were enduring very well. Li Qiye wanted to see how long they would wait. A calm, heavy voice rang out. Li Qiye, are you trying to kill them all? The speaker stepped into the battlefield. Divine light blazed. He stood upright amidst the battle. The person who entered the battlefield was Zhu Huangwu. Divine light glittered all over his body. The sages protected him. Divine light illuminated 10,000 miles, giving luminary great talent Zhu Huangwu an aura of being unassailable by 10,000 riders. The innate stone bone on his forehead, smooth as jade, added to his appeal. Li Qiye looked at Zhu Huangwu and said indifferently, "Do you have any objections? Killing them all is my business. The Heavenly Tao Academy is a place for seeking the Tao and resolving doubts, not a place for evil people to run rampant." His voice was calm and heavy. He said loudly, "Today, your slaughter of several thousand has stained the Heavenly Tao Academy with demonic blood. Such ferocity must be eliminated. Even the Heavenly Tao Academy cannot shelter a barbaric person like you. This is aiding the wicked." Many people were every day in the eastern 100 cities. Everyone knew that the feud between the luminary ancient kingdom and Li Qiye was not new. Li Qiye killed Ghost Talisman Tree Zhu Huangwu as his senior brother, seeking revenge for his junior disciple was a very normal matter. Li Qiye chuckled. "I kill whoever I want to kill. What does it have to do with the Heavenly Tao Academy? To take a step back, even if the Heavenly Tao Academy shelters me, so what? What does it have to do with you?" Li Qiye's words made many people secretly shake their heads. Li Qiye's statement was not wise. Everyone understood that the Heavenly Tao Academy was struggling to defend itself now, yet he was bringing trouble to the Heavenly Tao Academy. Saying the Heavenly Tao Academy would shelter. The meaning was completely different. If the two ancient kingdoms cooperated, the entire human emperor world would tremble. Such colossal powers could sweep across the entire human emperor world. The princes and successors of the great sects and powerful nations of the eastern 100 cities shouted loudly, "That's right. We cannot spare this evil person. If he is allowed to roam free, he will surely harm the eastern 100 cities. Who knows how many innocent people will suffer calamity. The Heavenly Tao Academy absolutely cannot allow such an evil person to exist." The disciples of other great sects and powerful nations echoed, "The Heavenly Tao Academy should strike down this person. They absolutely cannot shelter such a villain. Heavenly Tao Academy, give everyone an explanation." Many people hidden in the crowd spoke up. "It should be done. A murderer should be immediately suppressed. Heavenly Tao Academy, give us an explanation." Many people were agitated, shouting and demanding an explanation from the Heavenly Tao Academy. The long-lived, cunning older generation cultivators smelled something unusual. Some monstrous geniuses who knew the inside story had their hearts pound rapidly. The wind suddenly shifted. Outwardly, they demanded the elimination of Li Qiye, but secretly, their aim was the Heavenly Tao Academy. The cultivators who didn't understand the mystery, especially the students from humble backgrounds in the Great World Academy, felt indignant. A student spoke up. "Is it only permissible for your great sects and powerful nations to kill, and not for others to kill back?" For many students from humble backgrounds in the Great World Academy, Li Qiye was the pride of the Great World Academy. They naturally hoped to see him display his might, making the Great World Academy students proud. A great sect disciple glanced at the dissatisfied student and said coldly, "What's the matter? Are you siding with the villain Li Qiye? Committing violence and murder everywhere, harming the innocent, he deserves to be executed. Do you want to join Li Qiye and oppose the world? Do you want to be suppressed by everyone in the world?" The student's face changed. He was both angry and indignant. This great sect disciple's threat was blatant. He trembled with anger. Puffed. The great sect disciple had just finished speaking when a colossal hand pressed down. A tragic scream rang out. The great sect disciple was instantly killed, with no chance to fight back. The person who struck was Li Qiye. Opposing the world. Li Qiye's eyes widened. He sneered. "Who is opposing me? I am simply running rampant and slaughtering. So what if they are a great sect? So what if the Heavenly Tao Academy shelters me? Today, I stand here. If anyone is unconvinced, come up. I am challenging the world. What is so great about that? His words were immensely overbearing, making the listeners' blood boil. Many Great World Academy students cheered. The Great World Academy students shouted, "Senior Brother Li, kill them all. Is it only permissible for your great sects and powerful nations to kill us? Humph, what kind of logic is that? To them, the fist is the absolute truth, so let's give them a taste of their own medicine." Many Great World Academy students couldn't hold back anymore. Group sentiment surged. That's right. Senior Brother Li, crush them with your fists. Bah! What innocent people! We are the innocent ones. Many young women cheered loudly for Li Qiye. Little brother, fight hard. Defeat the ancient kingdoms and great sects. Especially Xianxia Wuxia's sisters, who waved their fists, passionately cheering him on. A bolder young woman from the Great World Academy excitedly urged, "Junior Brother Li, defeat the ancient kingdoms and great sects. I'll warm your bed tonight." The Great World Academy students cheered. "Haha, Senior Brother Li, did you hear that? Crush them, and bring us glory. Everyone supports our senior brother. A senior sister will warm your bed tonight." The situation became chaotic. The cunning older generation cultivators did not join in. The young cultivators, especially the Heavenly Tao Academy students, were divided into two camps. The great sect students stood on the same front. The students from humble backgrounds united, standing up to support Li Qiye. Zhu Huangwu and the Azure Profound Heavenly Sun both coldly snorted. Humph. Li Qiye glanced at the two. What? Unconvinced. The divine light on Zhu Huangwu's body surged. Light radiated from behind his head, making him look like a divine sun. He spoke with intimidating divine might. "Even if the Heavenly Tao Academy wants to shelter you, all the sects and lineages in the Eastern 100 cities will not allow a villain like you to commit violence. Everywhere. Today, I will eliminate this villain on behalf of the Heavenly Tao Academy." The battle in the field was nearing its end. The little mud eel and Sikong Totian had slain the remaining. Li Qiye waved his hand. "Let me handle it." Li Qiye looked at Zhu Huangwu, then at the Azure Profound Heavenly Sun, and said calmly, "If you insist on using the excuse of righteousness, I want to see what kind of righteousness your great sects and powerful nations speak of. Today, this grandpa will personally erase that righteousness. Both of you come together. I want to pluck out your bones. What is so great about an ancient kingdom? What are one sect, two emperors? They are nothing in my eyes." Zhu Huangwu's face changed, provoked by Li Qiye's words. Such arrogance. In the Eastern 100 cities, besides fairy maiden Mei Suyao, who could contend with luminary great talent Zhu Huangwu, the Azure Profound Heavenly Sun spoke first. Brother Huangwu. Tense. An ancient saint who knew the inside story sighed softly. Too much rigidity breaks easily. Li Qiye is indeed formidable, but it's a pity he chose the wrong opponents. Zhu Huangwu has an immortal emperor treasure. The person standing next to the ancient saint was shaken upon hearing this. Immortal emperor treasure. The immortal emperor treasure was something that made countless people gasp. Suppress him. The Azure Profound Heavenly Sun and Zhu Huangwu struck at the same time. Their moves were truly extraordinary. Ba Xia and Hu Yu could not compare to these two. In an instant, the Azure Profound Heavenly Sun and Zhu Huangwu opened their fate palaces. Their true fates appeared. Their Tao foundations exuded a terrifying imperial aura, as if an immortal emperor was about to be born from within. Feeling the Tao foundations of the Azure Profound Heavenly Sun and luminary great talent Zhu Huangwu, which were like the birth of an immortal emperor, everyone gasped. Immortal Emperor Fate Palace. Using the Immortal Emperor Fate Palace to construct the Tao Foundation. Only an Emperor lineage immortal gate could be so extravagant. The Azure Profound Heavenly Sun and Zhu Huangwu were clearly different. Although both unleashed emperor arts, their styles were distinct. Zhu Huangwu was covered in glittering divine light. as if he was a streak of divine light. His speed was incredibly fast. It seemed even time decayed in his hand. The azure profound heavenly sun was shrouded in green light. When he struck, green smoke spread across the heaven and earth. Within the green smoke, a divine beast, a true dragon, seemed to be nurtured. A majestic roar rang out, shattering the heaven and earth. Imperial aura surged, as if an immortal emperor riding a divine beast had arrived, trampling everything. Divine spirits submitted. The youthful imperial aura emanated from Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun. Imperial aura surged. The imperial breath spread far, inspiring awe. Many great World Academy students who supported Li Qiye changed their expressions. Imperial aura was ultimately irresistible. The world knew that immortal emperors were invincible, eternal through the ages. Facing the suppression of the two emperor arts, Li Qiye laughed loudly and said, "Just two mere emperor arts are not enough." Li Qiye deployed the 1,000 hands defying 9 worlds technique. 3,000 small worlds were born in each of his hands. Li Qiye's celestial hands and 10,000 wings made it seem as if millions of 3,000 small worlds were born in his hands. At this moment, the 9 worlds rose behind Li Qiye's back. The sentient beings of the 9 worlds protected him. The heaven and earth of the 9 worlds bore Li Qiye's body. It seemed the power of the 9 worlds was at his disposal. Boom! A deafening explosion rang out. The void shattered. Li Qiye alone blocked the attack of Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun. The devastating imperial aura swept across the 8 directions. Li Qiye laughed loudly and said, "Scram!" Li Qiye overturned his celestial hands and 10,000 wings, as if countless 3,000 small worlds were instantly destroyed. The 9 great worlds suppressed them. The power was heaven-soaring, infinite, and boundless. Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun's expressions changed. Immortal armor draped over their bodies. Laws entered their bodies. The azure profound heavenly sun and Zhu Huangwu were like divine spirits. The two propped up a piece of the sky, trying to block Li Qiye's attack. Boom! A deafening explosion rang out. 10,000 worlds were destroyed. The void shattered. In a flash, the void spanning 10,000 miles shattered into tiny pieces like glass. The scene was incredibly majestic. The azure profound heavenly sun and Zhu Huangwu were struck by the devastating blow from the 3,000 small worlds. The two were sent flying, somersaulting several times in the air. The azure profound heavenly sun and Zhu Huangwu were flung 1,000 miles away, but it must be acknowledged that the two were formidable. They withstood the strike. Impossible. The scene stimulated everyone. Especially the great sect disciples, who felt as if a sledgehammer had struck their chest. Many older generation true persons and ancient saints of the great sects couldn't believe their eyes. How can this be? Li Qiye is clearly only in the Marquis realm. An old demon king sighed softly. This is the terrifying aspect of the immortal physique. Once minor completion is achieved, a wave of the hand possesses the divine power to destroy the heaven and earth. Even without deploying the physical art, the physical body has been forged. The body possesses terrifying immortal physique divinity. If the divinity of a saint physique is 100 to 1,000 times stronger than an ordinary body, then the divinity of an immortal physique is 100 times higher than the saint physique. Perhaps even higher. He cultivates the hell-suppressing divine physique. This is the heaviest physique among the 12 immortal physiques. His body has been completely reforged. Cultivating it. This meant that even if the ancient kingdoms had the immortal physique art, it was incomplete. Seeing Li Qiye's celestial hands and 10,000 wings send Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun, who possessed emperor arts, flying, someone asked curiously. We know about the hell-suppressing divine physique, but what cultivation art does Li Qiye use? Such a cultivation art was no weaker than an emperor art. The 1,000 hands defying 9 worlds technique was more than just not being weaker than an emperor art. It was the protective technique of the sun. Glanced at each other. Finally, the two released their longevity wheels. Boom. A deafening explosion rang out. Waves of blood surged to the sky. Blood energy rose, raining down. In this instant, the azure profound heavenly sun and Zhu Huangwu were like two true dragons awakening. The blood energy in their bodies was pure and overbearing, surging boundlessly. Like waves crashing against the shore, shaking the heavenly universe and the stars. Within the surging blood energy, the stars were about to fall. The old undying figures hiding in the dark lamented. Youth is truly wonderful. Or rather, the surging blood energy of the azure profound heavenly sun and Zhu Huangwu was not as powerful as that of a saint sovereign or saint emperor. But the blood energy of the two was like a sun that had just risen high. A rising sun that could match the pure and overbearing midday sun. One can imagine how pure and overbearing the blood energy of the azure profound heavenly sun and Zhu Huangwu would be when they reached middle age. The longevity wheels of Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun appeared behind their heads, as if bearing two worlds. The blood energy of the azure profound heavenly sun and Zhu Huangwu was like a vast ocean, lifting their longevity wheels. Within the longevity wheels was longevity blood, refined through millions of years of blood energy, like a rushing river. One drop of blood, 10,000 years of longevity. One drop of longevity blood was like 10,000 drops of blood energy. Refined. The longevity blood in the longevity wheels of the azure profound heavenly sun and Zhu Huangwu was like a rushing river. Everyone had the illusion of seeing a coiled true dragon within the longevity wheel. Something seemed to be moving within the azure profound heavenly sun's longevity tower. Everyone saw that the azure profound heavenly sun's longevity wheel was composed of blood energy transforming into endless green smoke. The majestic longevity wheel now became a small, green sun. The green sun was like the most overbearing sun in the heaven and earth, but it emitted endless, abundant green smoke. A high-pitched chirping sound echoed. A green bird flew around the sun, like a green bird carrying the longevity wheel in flight. The sky had the sun and the stars, but all were overshadowed by the peerlessly overbearing green smoke. The longevity wheel of luminary great talent Zhu Huangwu contained a massive mountain. The longevity wheel unfolded like a world opening. A dazzling light shone behind Zhu Huangwu's head. The longevity wheel became illusory. Everyone could only see a massive mountain contained within the longevity wheel. The massive mountain was black like iron, extremely heavy. It seemed this massive mountain suppressed countless gods and demons within the longevity wheel. Zhu Huangwu's longevity blood flowed around the massive mountain like a river. The blood energy was tainted with an inexplicable demonic aura. In this instant, the heaven-soaring blood energy seemed to become heavy. Above, it could pierce the sky. Below, it could crush the earth. Every wisp of blood energy became incredibly powerful. An older generation cultivator from the central great territory looked at the treasure within the azure profound heavenly sun's longevity wheel and said in shock, "Jingwei carries the azure sun." When the Lion's Roar ruler saw Zhu Huangwu's longevity wheel, he whispered, "Could this be the demon subduing mountain treasure that has always circulated in the luminary ancient kingdom? Jingwei carries the azure sun and the demon subduing mountain treasure." Those who knew their origins were shaken. To this day, the power of a longevity treasure is not equal to that of a life treasure or true fate artifact, but a longevity treasure still possesses formidable power that cannot be ignored. Jingwei carries the azure sun legend says this was a longevity treasure once used by the azure profound immortal emperor of the azure profound ancient kingdom. Rumor has it that this longevity treasure was refined from the longevity ring of the divine bird Jingwei. When the azure profound immortal emperor was young, the longevity treasure helped him sweep across the 8 directions. Later, the azure profound immortal emperor achieved the great Tao, so he stopped using Jingwei carries the azure sun, the demon subduing mountain treasure. Rumor has it that it has an astonishing origin. Cultivators in the world know that longevity treasures are refined from the longevity ring of the longevity wheel. But rumor has it that the demon subduing immortal emperor of the luminary ancient kingdom refined a mountain treasure into a longevity wheel. This mountain treasure has always remained in the luminary ancient kingdom. The older generation cultivators, envious and admiring, sighed softly. This is the inner foundation. Immortal Emperor's possessions are things that cultivators in the world can only stumble upon, not seek. Forget about the young generation. It is extremely difficult for saint sovereigns and saint emperors of the older generation to obtain the possessions of an immortal emperor. Zhu Huangwu and the Azure Profound Heavenly Son were young. Yet they possessed immortal emperor longevity treasures. How could this not make people envious? Buzz, 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 buzz. It was as if the heavens will sensed it. The heaven and earth great. Tao became vibrant. Everyone felt the power of the heaven and earth. In that instant, the heaven and earth great Tao was communicated. Endless, abundant power appeared. Infinite divine light fell, shining upon Zhu Huangwu and the Azure Profound Heavenly Son. Divine light circled around the Azure Profound Heavenly Son and Zhu Huangwu. Streams of divine light seemed to manifest the heaven and earth. The galaxy sparkled. 10,000 things were born together. There was an illusion that the heaven and earth were manifesting from the bodies of the Azure Profound Heavenly Son and Zhu Huangwu. They bore the world's myriad things. The heaven and earth opened for the two. The heavens was in their hands. The formidable power of the Azure Profound Heavenly Son and Zhu Huangwu made people wary. It was as if they controlled the universe, deciding life and death. They were the masters of the heaven's will. Zhu Huangwu was on the left, demon subduing on the right, luminary. The demon subduing aura was heavy like iron. The luminary aura was light and sacred. One half light, one half heavy. Left and right were harmonious, without conflict. The Azure Profound Heavenly Son was shrouded in green smoke. It was as if a giant true dragon lay above his head. The green smoke was like a giant true dragon nurturing a terrifying saber aura. That saber aura was born for the heaven's will. Looking at the two emperor art of the Azure Profound Heavenly Son and Zhu Huangwu, no matter how arrogant one was, they couldn't help but sigh softly. Cultivating the arts of two emperors in one body is truly unbelievable. Many monstrous geniuses of the Sacred World Academy were present. Seeing the state of the Azure Profound Heavenly Son and Zhu Huangwu, they were deeply. The power is unimaginable. But someone else's is ultimately someone else's. Inheriting another's true fate artifact or treasure makes it difficult to unleash 2 to 3/10 of its power. For Zhu Huangwu and the Azure Profound Heavenly Son, who cultivated the arts of two emperors in one body, they could already attack ancient saints without borrowing anyone's true fate artifact or treasure. Only one's own life true fate artifact could unleash the greatest power of the two emperor art. Otherwise, they would have to use immortal emperor divine weapons. Zhu Huangwu roared loudly. Kill. Zhu Huangwu was like a Pai Xiao emerging, overbearing and fierce, like a hungry tiger descending from the mountain. Tiger roared and dragon chanted, suppressing and slaying. Everyone's hearts pounded. The two staffs struck together. Yin and Yang were destroyed. The Azure Profound Heavenly Son said nothing, directly slashing with a saber. It was sharp and ruthless, severing everything in the world. Even divine spirits would be decapitated. If Zhu Huangwu was an overbearing killer, the Azure Profound Heavenly Son was a cruel killer. The saber aura flashed. Everyone trembled, feeling as if that saber strike was slashing at them. Li Qiye howled loudly. Kill. His physical body trembled. The hell-suppressing divine physique hovered. His body trampled. Everything. All laws were suppressed. Even the slightest law was crushed under Li Qiye's feet. The celestial hands and 10,000 wings were raised. 3,000 small worlds surrounded and protected the 9 great worlds. The power of countless sentient beings poured into Li Qiye's body. Clang, 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 clang. The three clashed. The onlookers were horrified. This was a battle between true geniuses. Geniuses watching the scene all gasped. If it were them, whether facing the Azure Profound Heavenly Son, Zhu Huangwu, or Li Qiye, they wouldn't be able to endure it. Buffed. The terrifying battle escalated. The staff became more overbearing. The saber was ruthless. Li Qiye used his body to resist, suffering a great loss. No matter how tough the hell. Suppressing divine physique was, the divine saber of the azure profound heavenly sun still cut a wound deep to the bone. Zhu Huangwu's twin staffs were not as sharp as the divine saber. But their posture was extremely overbearing, suppressing the thousand hands defying 9 worlds technique. Crash. Li Qiye used his body to endure the divine weapons of the two. He was sent flying. Blood splashing. The azure profound heavenly sun and Zhu Huangwu did not let up. They immediately chased after him. The divine saber and twin staff struck Li Qiye with unrivaled force. Crash. Li Qiye was struck down by the azure profound heavenly sun and Zhu Huangwu, slamming heavily into the ground. The ground cracked. Blood stained the mud. Seeing the scene, Qi Xiaodie's group changed. The Great World Academy students who supported Li Qiye changed their expressions when they saw him struck down. Their faces were pale. They shouted in astonishment. The great sect disciples on Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun's side shouted with joy. Ha ha. Daring to challenge 2 heavenly suns with Li Qiye alone. An ignorant fool. This is his end. Crash. Dust and sand flew. Li Qiye soared into the sky, landing on the ground. Li Qiye's body was covered in bloodstains. He had deep, bone-deep wounds, yet he was still full of vitality. His eyes shone brightly. Seeing Li Qiye being struck down yet not gravely wounded, others were shaken. Worthy of an immortal physique. He can withstand such an attack. Although the hell-suppressing divine physique is not invulnerable to all laws like the indestructible diamond physique, it is still very tough. Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun looked at Li Qiye, extremely surprised. The heavens will. Secret art could not slay Li Qiye. His physique was too terrifying. Immortal physique. It was indeed the physique that immortal emperors also wished to cultivate. Legend says that a great sage with great completion of the immortal physique can challenge an immortal emperor. Today, it seems this is not entirely a rumor. Perhaps it is true. Otherwise, countless people would not have sought to. Li Qiye slowly said. Who will lend me a saber and a sword? A Great World Academy disciple immediately threw a saber and a sword to Li Qiye. Both were decent treasures. Senior brother Li. Take them. Li Qiye received the saber and sword. His right hand held the saber. His left hand held the sword. Li Qiye opened his celestial hands and 10,000 wings. Aside from the hands holding the saber and the sword, the other hand slowly deployed the 1,000 hands defying 9 worlds technique. Li Qiye smiled faintly. I also have a heavens will secret art. Boom. Qiye's body. The boundless power of the heaven and earth continuously poured into his body. Seeing the divine flames rise around Li Qiye, someone lamented. The heavenly world steal. The heavens will secret art of the Ming-Ren immortal emperor, the one who ushered in the era of all emperors, the first immortal emperor of that era. The cleansing incense ancient sect no longer held much fame, but the prestige of the Ming-Ren immortal emperor was still thunderous. Seeing the heavenly world steal shook countless people. Li Qiye roared loudly. Open. Boom. A deafening explosion rang out. Li Qiye's celestial hands and 10,000 wings lifted countless 3,000 small worlds. The 9 great worlds bearing his back suddenly opened. Li Qiye was like a true god receiving the worship of billions of sentient beings. The blood energy of the sentient beings was at his disposal. The belief of the sentient beings strengthened his body. Li Qiye transformed into a true god, gazing coldly across millions of miles. In his sight, everything transformed into supreme laws. The 1,000 hands defying 9 worlds technique was the protective technique of the myriad form true god. This was not a joke. The aura of a true god emanated from Li Qiye. He received the worship of countless sentient beings. In an instant, Li Qiye's hell-suppressing divine physique erupted to its limit. His physical body radiated immortal light, as if opening an infinitely mysterious world. Everyone present was shaken. Li Qiye deployed the heavens will secret art, using the power of the heavens will to open the mysterious treasure of his physical body. The most terrifying thing was that Li Qiye elevated the thousand hands defying 9 worlds technique to a new level. The azure profound heavenly sun and Zhu Huangwu glanced at each other. Their killing intent grew thicker. Li Qiye cultivating the immortal physique was already terrifying enough. Now, coupled with his cultivation of a mysterious true god technique, Li Qiye was a lifelong formidable enemy for the azure profound heavenly sun and Zhu Huangwu. But Li Qiye didn't stop there. His deployment of the heavens will secret art made the two understand that as long as Li Qiye was not eliminated, they would never live in peace. Luminary Immortal Emperor more brilliantly. One hand was luminary, one hand was demon subduing. The demon subduing aspect suppressed everything. The luminary aspect decayed all things in the heaven and earth. The twin staffs intersected. Yin and Yang were annihilated. The 6 Daos were reversed. The 2 heavens will secret arts became incredibly simple in Zhu Huangwu's hands. The azure profound heavenly sun erupted with thick killing intent. The azure profound immortal emperor's heavens will secret art was like a vast, endless world. The immortal emperor's art controlling the 3 immortal emperor sabers transformed into a saber aura that merged with the divine saber. One saber decides life and death. The saber strike descended. Everything reverted to nothingness. Even a true god would be decapitated. Li Qiye laughed wildly. Right on time. Facing the 2 geniuses who cultivated the arts of 2 emperors, Li Qiye still stood proudly. The saber and sword resonated. In an instant, the sword transformed into black and white, 2 divine spirits. Beneath them were billions of sentient beings. The 2 divine spirits, one black, one white, stood side by side, manifesting infinite vitality, like a lotus in a swamp. Beneath the 2 divine spirits, billions of sentient beings were nurtured. The billions of sentient beings formed their own world, transforming into a great world. One sword transforms into one world. This was one of Li Qiye's 3 talent swords, the human talent sword. When the one sword transforms into one world was placed alongside the 9 worlds of the 1,000 hands defying 9 worlds technique, the 10 worlds were complete. Beneath the 10 worlds, everything became minuscule. The 10 worlds revolved, encompassing the attacks of Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun. Li Qiye's attack made Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun change their expressions. The 2 shouted in unison. 2 emperors descend together. Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun erupted with the most powerful might of their heavens will secret arts. Boom. A deafening explosion rang out. As if 4 immortal emperors had arrived. The demon subduing immortal emperor and the luminary immortal emperor fought side by side with Zhu Huangwu. The 2 hands of the azure profound immortal emperor rested on the shoulders of the azure profound heavenly sun. Unrivaled imperial authority protected him. The 3 sabers immortal emperor personally paved the way for the azure profound heavenly sun with his divine saber. The appearance of the 4 immortal emperors made many people's legs turn to jelly. Marquises and true persons trembled. The imperial breath suppressed them, making them suffocate. Fear of the supreme existence welled up from the bottom of their hearts. Immortal emperors. The scene was too shocking. 4 immortal emperors appeared together. Countless monstrous geniuses were scared out of their wits. An older ancient saint whispered, "No. This is an illusion of the immortal emperors created by the heavens will secret art. They use the fabricated power of the heavens will secret art. It is not even the will of the immortal emperors. Although it was only an illusion created by the heavens will secret art." Li Qiye laughed loudly. "It's a pity it's only an illusion." Clang. In an instant, it was as if a heavy, colossal chain locked Li Qiye's body. The immense solar stellar flame erupted. When the immense solar stellar flame locked Li Qiye's body, 9 suns rose behind his 9 worlds. The sunlight illuminated the 9 heavens and 10 lands, burning the sky and boiling the sea. Rumble, 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 rumble. The true sun in the sky poured down endless solar stellar flames. The solar stellar flames could burn everything. A stream of solar stellar flames falling to The ground could pierce the earth. The 9 worlds behind Li Qiye rose up. The suns devoured the boundless and abundant solar stellar flames. When the 9 suns devoured much of the solar stellar flames, they hovered around Li Qiye's body. The 9 suns illuminating the heavens art, a supreme art known as the strongest technique, unleashed its true power in Li Qiye's hands. Watching Li Qiye's aura grow stronger, the azure profound heavenly sun and Zhu Huangwu roared loudly. Open! Their longevity wheels shone brightly. Longevity treasures erupted with blood energy, spanning millions of feet. Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun manifested their heavens will secret arts, which grew increasingly powerful. Boom! The two rushed out of Li Qiye's 10 worlds, and the essence of the 9 suns poured into Li Qiye's body, causing his cultivation to rapidly soar. Boom, boom, boom. 3 loud explosions. Li Qiye's cultivation stepped from the marquee realm into the true person, ancient saint, and finally, the saint sovereign realm. Right at this moment, divine rings, which only a saint sovereign possessed, appeared around Li Qiye's body. The 9 suns illuminating the heavens art temporarily propelled Li Qiye's cultivation into the saint sovereign realm. Li Qiye held a long sword, like the galaxy descending from the sky. 1. Sword, ruthless and absolute slaughter. The 3 talent swords, the heaven talent sword. 1 ultimate, ruthless sword stabbed toward the azure profound heavenly sun. The saber resonated in the sky. 1 slash cut horizontally. That saber strike gave birth to 8 intents. 8 intents became 1 Dao. 1 Dao became 8 Daos. 8 Daos appeared together. Heaven, earth, true God. Sentient beings. Everything manifested in that saber. The cross heaven 8 sabers was a technique Li Qiye originally calculated for Chen Baojiao. Later, Chen Baojiao asked him about it. Li Qiye casually refined it. The cross heaven 8 sabers was the unrivaled saber art of martial ancestors' entire life. Later generations rumored this saber was created by the martial ancestor. In fact, it had a different origin. The cross heaven 8 sabers and the overlord immortal saber shared the same origin. Clang! The cross heaven 8 sabers and the heaven talent sword struck together. The azure profound heavenly sun relied on the 2 immortal emperors' protection. His divine saber, with the most overbearing saber technique, resisted Li Qiye's heaven-slaying strike. On the other side, Li Qiye, in the state of celestial hands and 10,000 wings, drew the 9 words true bow with 1 pair of hands. Buzz, 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 buzz. An arrow shot out. The Zhe, practitioner, true word. Linbing Doja Jiachen Lia Zaiqian, profound, soldier, fight, practitioner, all, form, array, ahead. The Zhe true word arrow was the arrow of the heaven and earth. The 10,000 Daos of the heaven and earth accompanied this arrow. The heaven and earth laws were born before the Zhe true word. The arrow was absolutely irresistible. Another hand of Li. Finally transforming into a sword sweeping horizontally. The sword strike descended. Billions of stars in the sky fell with it. The destructive sword slashed toward Zhu Huangwu. The grass sword. Immortal strike art. This came from the immortal Dao city, a transaction in the eternal corpse ground. Su Pei possessed it. She once reviewed it with Li Qiye, hearing him speak of its mysteries. Today, this art was manifested in Li Qiye's hands. 1 grass, 1 sword, destroying the stars in the sky. It was extremely fierce. The Zhe true word arrow led the charge. The grass sword immortal strike art slashed toward Zhu Huangwu. Zhu Huangwu dared not be careless. He closed his twin staffs to shield his face. The 2 immortal emperors were like a gate, blocking the heaven-destroying grass. Supreme arts without diminishing their power. This was too unbelievable. Everyone was shaken by the 2 emperor art of Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun. Li Qiye's several supreme arts suppressed them, yet the 2 still resisted. Anyone else would have been killed. Rumble, 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 rumble. The 2 sides competed with the strength of their cultivation. The azure profound heavenly sun was protected by 2 immortal emperors. His divine saber, with the most supreme saber technique, blocked Li Qiye's heaven talent sword and the cross heaven 8 sabers. Zhu Huangwu swung his twin staffs. Yin and Yang were sealed, like two immortal emperors closing a gate, blocking the grass sword and the true word arrow. Li Qiye fought 2 against 1. Using the heavenly world steel and the 9 suns illuminating the heavens art to forcibly suppress Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun. The 2, who cultivated the arts of 2 emperors in one body, were not easy to provoke. Li Qiye suppressed them fiercely, but Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun resisted. The 2 sides were in a deadlock. It was difficult to advance even one step. Buzz, 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 buzz. Something incredible suddenly happened. Li Qiye's physical body moved. In an instant, his physical body was seen separating from his main body. The physical body flashed. Rumble. The sky shook twice. The physical body, with incredible speed, broke through the void. 2 successive strikes in an instant. A tragic scream rang out. Ah! Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun were sent flying. A hideous bloody hole was left in their chests. The 2 did not expect that at the critical moment, Li Qiye's physical body would erupt with might. Its strong, unrivaled posture broke through their defense. Even deploying the 2 emperor art to seal the defense was useless. The original defense, suppressed by Li Qiye's 4 supreme arts, shattered simultaneously. The physical body struck the chests of the azure profound heavenly sun and Zhu Huangwu, piercing through them. With their chests pierced, the 2 flew out. Blood spraying everywhere. Many people looked at the scene, shivering. Too terrifying. Li Qiye, Zhu Huangwu, and the azure profound heavenly sun were already terrifying in their balanced deadlock. Li Qiye alone suppressed the 2 strongest geniuses. But at the critical moment, Li Qiye's physical body, with an unrivaled posture, pierced through the chests of Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun. The immortal physique is too terrifying. An old ruler's face turned pale as he muttered, a single body cultivating the immortal physique and several supreme arts is even more terrifying. Even a genius cultivating the arts of 2 emperors in one body suffered a loss. Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun flew out. Blood stained the blue sky. The scene shocked everyone. Young monstrous geniuses and older generation powerhouses alike were stunned for a long time, unable to speak. Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun were both the favored children of heaven in the current era. They hailed from ancient kingdoms and cultivated the arts of 2 emperors in one body. Countless people valued them highly. Some even believed that Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun could carve out their own Tao and challenge the heavens will in the future. But today, Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun, even working together, still couldn't defeat this young man. This was hard to believe. Even if spoken, no one would believe it. The Great World Academy students roared loudly. Excellent! Excellent strike! The Great World Academy students cheered loudly, feeling extremely proud. Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun were existences that. A sizzling sound was heard. The pierced chests quickly closed, recovering to their original state. If not for the bloodstains on the chests of the 2, it would be hard to imagine that Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun had just been pierced through the chest. Seeing this scene, everyone gasped. Worthy of cultivating the arts of 2 emperors in one body. It's as if they cannot be killed. Although cultivators, when they reach the heaven origin realm and refine their true fate into a heavens will origin, can have their true fate escape the body and survive. Even if the body is destroyed, they still have a chance to survive and create a new physical body. But performing this is fraught with difficulties. When marquises and ancient saints suffer severe injuries to their bodies, recovering their bodies is extremely difficult, especially with Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun's chests pierced by the physical body of the hell-suppressing divine physique. The physical body of the immortal physique piercing their chests. Such an injury could be called fatal. The divine might of the immortal physique's law would leave a permanent scar on the body. Zhu Huangwu and the Azure Profound Heavenly Sun's pierced chests could close the wound in an instant, as if they were never injured. If it were anyone else injured by the immortal physique, not only would their body be damaged, but their true fate would also be injured. Zhu Huangwu roared wildly. It all ends now. Zhu Huangwu was like an angry dragon gone berserk. This battle was an immense humiliation for Zhu Huangwu and the Azure Profound Heavenly Sun. The two were the favored children of heaven, the peak existences among geniuses. Today, Zhu Huangwu and the Azure Profound Heavenly Sun worked together but were suppressed by Li Qiye. How could they show their faces? If Li Qiye was not killed, there would be no place in the world for Zhu Huangwu and the Azure Profound Heavenly Sun to stand. Rumble, 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 rumble. The 9 heavens and 10 lands trembled. Billions of sentient beings knelt on the ground. Countless marquises and glorious marquises were suppressed. Even ancient saints found it difficult to stand firm. An ancient saint who had lived for 10,000 years shouted sharply, "Imperial weapon." The ancient saint's face was pale with fear. Glorious marquises and marquises had long since knelt on the ground in fear before the unrivaled imperial might. Zhu Huangwu and the Azure Profound Heavenly Sun simultaneously took out an immortal emperor treasure. Zhu Huangwu held a combat staff, sweeping away everything in the world. When the combat staff swung out, the black tortoise roared. It was as if the divine beast Black Tortoise was trampling. The combat staff transformed into the black tortoise, like the demon subduing immortal emperor sitting atop the black tortoise, suppressing and slaying all divine spirits. And rumor has it that the demon subduing immortal emperor entered the immortal land, slew the divine beast Black Tortoise, and refined its Dao bone into an imperial staff. The Azure Profound Heavenly Sun took out a very familiar immortal emperor treasure. The immortal emperor treasure once appeared in the eternal corpse ground. It was the imperial disciple's spinning top. The 2 immortal emperor treasures appeared. Everything lost its chance and reverted to chaos. Li Qiye roared loudly. Open. The 1,000 hands defying 9 worlds technique, the grass sword immortal strike art. The cross heaven 8 sabers, the 3 talent swords, the hell suppressing divine physique, the heavenly world steel, the 9 suns illuminating the heavens art. Li Qiye unleashed all his unrivaled techniques to the limit. In that instant, Li Qiye's longevity will exploded. A sea of blood surged to the sky. A blood moon and a golden sun appeared in the endless sea of blood. Revolving like the Taiji. Infinite divine blood poured into the yin-yang sea of blood. Li Qiye's Dao foundation shone dazzlingly. The Kunpeng spread its wings, covering the sky. The divine rings around Li Qiye's body transformed from 9 to 36, resisting this most unrivaled strike of the heaven and earth. Boom. The heaven and earth shattered. The void was destroyed. Stars fell. That single strike made the eastern 100 cities tremble. That single strike caused many colossal divine chains of law to shoot up from beneath the heavenly Tao Academy's ground, covering the entire surface, preventing the ground from being submerged by that single strike. Rumble, 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 rumble. No matter how heaven-defying Li Qiye was, everything became nothingness. Before that attack, his saber and sword's cold light was destroyed. The celestial hands and 10,000 wings shattered. The grass sword disintegrated. The 9 suns collapsed. No matter how heaven-defying the technique, before that single strike, everything turned to smoke. It could not stop the immortal emperor treasure's strike. Boom. Li Qiye's body slammed heavily into the ground, piercing a colossal deep hole. Blood stained the ground. Fissures spread. The imperial might of the immortal world swept across the heaven and earth, suppressing the 8 directions. Many old undying figures trembled in their hearts. Are they attacking the heavenly Tao Academy? Some old undying figures thought someone was attacking the heavenly Tao Academy with an imperial. Everything happened too quickly. Zhu Huangwu and the Azure Profound Heavenly Sun suddenly struck with immortal emperor treasures. By the time the crowd reacted, it was too late. The great world. Qiye, who had swept away the Azure Profound Heavenly Sun and Zhu Huangwu, still couldn't stop the unrivaled imperial weapon. They were proud of Li Qiye. He was the representative, the idol of the common cultivators. But in the end, it was not that Li Qiye's cultivation was inferior to Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun. He was slain by the immortal emperor treasure. The great sect geniuses on Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun's side laughed wildly. Ha 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 ha. An ant dared to declare war on the tiger roar sect. An ignorant fool. An ant trying to other. But before the unrivaled imperial might of the immortal emperor treasure, everything became weak. They were helpless and couldn't resist. Zhu Huangwu said in a deep voice. It is finished. Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun secretly sighed in relief. Li Qiye's existence put immense pressure on Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun. They couldn't rest easy. Now. The voice was filled with magical power. Swoosh, swoosh. Li Qiye crawled out of the ground. His body was covered in blood. His skin was torn. Li Qiye was like a broken pottery jar. His body was covered in intersecting cracks. A light touch would shatter him into pieces. A terrifying crack ran across Li Qiye's head. His forehead was cracked, but he was still alive. Clang. The physical body in Li Qiye's chest once again radiated immortal light. The divine chains of law of the physical body were like needles, sewing the intersecting cracks on Li Qiye's body. Finally, a clang sounded. The immense stellar flame descended, locking Li Qiye's entire body. The threads of stellar flame law, with incredible divine effect, poured into Li Qiye's wounds. The Kunpeng Dao Foundation and Fate Palace spread its wings. The heaven and earth poured into Li Qiye's body, healing his wounds. His longevity will reveal a sea of blood. Longevity blood returned to Li Qiye's body, urging the wounds to heal quickly. Heavens will immortal light descended from the sky. Endless heavens will immortal light envelop Li Qiye's entire body. The heavenly world steel communicated with the heaven and earth great Tao, using the power of the heaven and earth to heal Li Qiye's injuries. Alas! Although this physique cannot be eternally immortal like the indestructible diamond physique, it can endure. Li Qiye said calmly and confidently. It's a pity your cultivation is too shallow. Even if you possess the true saint sovereign strength or unleash 2/10 of the immortal emperor treasure's power, 1/10 of the immortal emperor treasure's power is not enough to crush me. Immortal physique. Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun's expressions changed. The two took a step back. With the immortal emperor treasure in hand, the two could unleash 2/10 of its power, enough to annihilate everything. Before the immortal emperor treasure, fate palace, longevity method, and technique were no longer important. The 1,000 hands defying 9 worlds technique, the 9 suns illuminating the heavens art. The cross heaven 8 sabers. No matter what cultivation art, at the very last moment, it was feared that it couldn't stop the strike of the immortal emperor treasure and would turn to smoke. But at the very last moment, Li Qiye still overcame it and survived. Minor completion immortal physique. Everyone was stunned. The immortal physique became everyone's nightmare. Eyes. Today, everyone witnessed the terrifying nature of the immortal physique. An unknown Great World Academy student shouted loudly. Excellent. Senior brotherly, fight hard. Defeat them. Tonight, the girls will warm your bed. The Great World Academy students roared to the sky. Excellent. Senior brotherly is excellent. They clapped their hands, shouting and cheering. Hailing from the same Great World Academy, from small sects, Li Qiye's glory was their glory. Everyone shared the glory with Li Qiye. The Great World Academy students roared loudly. That's right. Senior brotherly, defeat them. Tonight, the senior sisters and junior sisters in the academy are yours to choose. Not 1, but 8, 10 people. The Sacred World Academy and Pinnacle World. Pinnacle World Academy students made the Great World Academy students sigh in relief. They finally vented the resentment in their hearts. Qi Xiaodia cried with joy. Tears filled her eyes. It's good that he's unharmed. It's good. Qi Xiaodao's group sighed in relief, as if a great burden had been lifted. In the end, Li Qiye created a miracle, surviving beneath 2 immortal emperor treasures. Zhu Huangwu took a deep breath and said in a deep voice, "Even with minor completion of the immortal physique, you will surely be defeated today." The azure profound heavenly sun coldly shouted, "Today, even if a grand Luo immortal descends, he cannot save you." Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun's expressions were heavy. They took out their immortal emperor treasures. When their bodies were imbued with imperial might, they transformed into unrivaled divine beings. A major figure from a great sect saw the 2 sides about to erupt. Feeling uneasy, he waved his hand and led his disciples away. "Damn it! They are about to unleash the immortal emperor treasures again. Go." Everyone understood that the 2 sides were about to unleash their ultimate attacks. Looking at the 2 immortal emperor treasures, everyone feared them. In an instant, countless people fled far from the scene, fleeing out of the Heavenly Tao Academy. They stood far away, watching the battle, to avoid being caught in the destruction when the 2 sides fought and the sky and earth collapsed. Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly suns' expressions were resolute. They roared loudly, "Let us end this." Their longevity wheels rose up. At this moment, the immortal emperor treasures shone brightly. The mysterious earth tortoise staff emitted the supreme, divine black tortoise. This was a divine beast. The black tortoise stood proudly in the 9 heavens and 10 lands, having once suppressed gods and demons. The imperial disciples' spinning top exuded heaven-soaring death energy. Tao runes revolved within the death energy, about to transform into an immortal scripture. Immortal music resonated, about to open the immortal realm, using the power of the immortal realm to punish the enemy. At this moment, the 2 immortal emperor treasures frantically absorbed blood energy from Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun. The 2's faces were pale. They felt as if they were being drained. An immortal emperor treasure is superior to an imperial item. The immortal emperor treasure is called an imperial weapon. It is not as powerful as an immortal emperor true weapon, but nothing in the world is stronger than it, except an immortal emperor true weapon. Furthermore, whether immortal emperor treasure or immortal emperor true weapon, they are eternal existences, usable multiple times, passed down through generations. But controlling an immortal emperor treasure is not easy. Unleashing imperial might requires consuming a lot of blood energy. Ordinary people find it difficult to control an immortal emperor treasure. The azure profound heavenly sun roared loudly, "End it!" The 2 spat out longevity blood. They did not hesitate to deplete their most precious longevity blood to unleash the strongest imperial might of the immortal emperor treasures. Boom! A strike descended. The attack was far stronger than before. Countless great Tao laws and divine chains of law that shot up from beneath the Heavenly Tao Academy's ground were severed by the attack. This flat piece of land was completely destroyed. Countless people across millions of miles of the eastern 100 cities had their hearts pound rapidly. An old undying figure looked at the distant Heavenly Tao. They stared with wide eyes, unable to believe what they saw, dazed for a long time. Someone rubbed their eyes, whispering in disbelief, "This impossible." Everyone saw an incredibly unbelievable scene. The 2 immortal emperor treasures descended but were blocked. Li Qiye held a stone box. When the stone box opened, immortal light surged to the sky. The immortal light shot up, blocking the imperial disciple's spinning top and the mysterious earth tortoise staff. The stone box Li Qiye held was a major treasure of the Central Continent Ancient Kingdom, a supreme treasure exchanged from the Central Continent Princess. Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun's expressions changed. The 2 immortal emperor treasures descended but were blocked. What kind of treasure was this? My turn. Li Qiye laughed loudly. As you said, it all should end now. A treasure flew out of the stone box. It was a mirror. This mirror was neither bronze nor gold. The Een fish, blocking the 2 immortal emperor treasures. Open. Li Qiye did not hesitate to pour his longevity blood into the mirror. Buzz, 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 buzz. The yin-yang fish flew out of the mirror, sweeping with the divine might of the 9 heavens and 10 lands. Boom. A deafening explosion rang out. Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun, holding the imperial disciples' spinning top and the mysterious earth tortoise staff, were sent flying. The sound of breaking bones rang out. The two spat mouthfuls of blood. Buzz, 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 buzz. An incredible event occurred. The yin-yang fish that flew out of the mirror transformed into a yin-yang vortex, sucking in the imperial disciple's spinning top and the mysterious earth tortoise staff. The two treasures fell into Li Qiye's hands. The imperial disciple's spinning top and the mysterious earth tortoise staff changed owners. In the deepest darkness of the sky, an old undying figure said in disbelief, "Impossible. This is a treasure lost for millions of years. How can it be in the hands of this little brat?" Some old undying figures, who had always watched impassively from the shadows, gasped, saying in horror, "The yin-yang immortal refining mirror. The protective treasure of the central continent ancient kingdom." The old undying figures who arrived at the Heavenly Tao Academy today were not just part of the alliance seeking to seize the Heavenly Tao Academy. There were also some old undying figures lurking outside the Heavenly Tao Academy, observing. To them, Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun bringing out immortal emperor treasures was not surprising. These old undying figures had seen many storms. But Li Qiye wielding the yin-yang immortal refining mirror shook the old undying figures. The yin-yang immortal refining mirror had an incredibly mysterious origin. No one knew clearly. The yin-yang immortal refining mirror was the protective treasure of the central continent ancient kingdom, one of the most powerful ancient kingdoms of the pioneering era. During that era, there was a saying, if there is an immortal mirror in the sky, it can refine everything. One can imagine how terrifying this mirror was. It was a pity that during the era of the heavenly slaughter immortal emperor, he annihilated the central continent. Emperor treasures, the severely wounded Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun were startled and terrified. They roared true words. Return. Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun used their supreme secret art to summon the immortal emperor treasures, wanting to reclaim them. Buzz, 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 buzz. The imperial disciple spinning top and the mysterious earth tortoise treasures, pinning them down. Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun could not summon them back. Their immortal emperor treasures were completely restrained. After restraining the two immortal emperor treasures, Li Qiye slowly said, "Since they have fallen into my hands, don't dream of summoning them back." Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun were both shocked and angry. They did not expect Li Qiye's mirror to suppress immortal emperor treasures. Unless it was an immortal emperor true weapon, no treasure in the world could suppress an immortal emperor treasure. Could Li Qiye's mirror be comparable to an immortal emperor's life true weapon? The azure profound heavenly sun said coldly. Even if you seize them, it's only temporary. Imperial weapons have an imperial seal. Even if the imperial disciple spinning top is in your hands, you can't use it. Every immortal emperor treasure has an imperial seal. The imperial seal binds the immortal emperor treasure to the immortal emperor, or the bloodline of the immortal emperor's descendants. Except for the immortal emperor's lineage or descendants, others cannot use the immortal emperor treasure, even if they obtain it. Unless they possess a heaven-defying method to bypass the imperial seal, or the immortal emperor's lineage is destroyed. Outsiders possessing an immortal emperor treasure are merely holding scrap metal. Li Qiye smiled brightly. The imperial seal cannot trouble me. Li Qiye took out a treasure bottle with utmost solemnity and dropped 2 drops of longevity blood onto the imperial disciple's spinning top and the mysterious earth tortoise staff. Crack! Everyone heard the sound of unlocking. The immortal emperor law that bound the immortal emperor treasure and the immortal emperor lineage suddenly loosened. The 2 immortal emperor treasures radiated bright light in Li Qiye's hands. Their imperial might became even more formidable. Clang! The imperial disciple's spinning top and the mysterious earth tortoise staff resonated in Li Qiye's hands. Their imperial might increased, even becoming stronger than when Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun used their longevity blood to unleash them. Seeing the scene, Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun were frightened. Their expressions changed. Earth tortoise staff fell into Li Qiye's hands, the old undying figures panicked. After all, immortal emperor treasures have the imperial seal. Even if Li Qiye seized the immortal emperor treasures, they could reclaim them at any time. But now, things had changed. Li Qiye opened the imperial seal. This meant cutting off the link between the immortal emperor treasure and the immortal emperor's lineage and descendants. With the imperial seal, the immortal emperor treasure is bound to the immortal emperor lineage. As long as the immortal emperor lineage is not annihilated. No matter where the immortal emperor treasure is lost, the immortal emperor lineage has a chance to find it and bring it back. When the imperial seal is opened, the immortal emperor treasure henceforth belongs to someone else. Even the immortal emperor lineage or descendants can no longer control that immortal emperor treasure. Many people who fled the Heavenly Tao Academy, standing at the horizon, saw the scene and were shaken. Their expressions changed in horror, saying, "Impossible. Even a great sage cannot open the imperial seal, let alone a junior like Li Qiye. Using longevity blood to open the imperial seal. This was a pipe dream, something utterly impossible." But these impossible things happened right before everyone's eyes. Li Qiye used 2 drops of longevity blood to open the imperial seals of the 2 immortal emperor treasures, easily taking possession of the imperial disciple's spinning top and the mysterious earth tortoise staff. While everyone was shaken and horrified, they didn't know the great secret hidden within the 2 drops of longevity blood. The 2 drops of longevity blood looked like Li Qiye's, but in fact, essence. Even 1 drop is coveted by immortal emperors. A tiny bit of myriad things water essence merged with Li Qiye's 2 drops of longevity blood was not difficult to open the imperial seal. Everyone was stunned. 2 drops of longevity blood opening the imperial seal. This was unheard of, unprecedented. Li Qiye opened the imperial seals and seized the imperial disciple's spinning top and the mysterious earth tortoise staff. He held the 2 immortal emperor treasures and pointed them at Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun. "As you said, it should end now." Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun, stunned and bewildered, regained their senses. Seeing the immortal emperor treasures in Li Qiye's hands, the 2 were frightened and turned to flee. Boom. Imperial might was vast. The 2 immortal emperor treasures slashed down. Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun used all their cultivation arts and took out all their treasures. But they couldn't stop the immortal emperor treasures. A roar of anger echoed in the sky. "Junior, how dare you!" A colossal hand descended from the sky. The cultivators who fled the Heavenly Tao Academy shivered. Beneath this colossal hand, they felt like ants. One can imagine how powerful and terrifying the owner of the hand was. Boom. The colossal hand struck down but did not touch the Heavenly Tao Academy. The Heavenly Tao Academy deployed layers of defense, blocking the hand from the sky. Suddenly, a tragic scream rang out. "Ah!" Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun roared. They were utterly unwilling, but they were slashed by the immortal emperor treasures, turning to ash. The 2 couldn't resist that single strike. This outcome was beyond many people's imagination. Zhu Huangwu and the azure profound heavenly sun, 2 generational heavenly talents, the most outstanding of the current era who cultivated the arts of 2 emperors in one body, died by their own immortal emperor treasures. Rumble, 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 rumble. The heaven and earth shook. Following that was the sound of collapsing. The vast territory of the Heavenly Tao Academy spread with cracks. Mountains collapsed. Rivers cracked. Divine academies and ancient halls crumbled. In an instant, the Heavenly Tao Academy was like the end of the world. The crowd sinking. Seeing the Heavenly Tao Academy's vast territory about to sink, someone spoke up. "No. The Heavenly Tao Academy's demise has come. It is finally completely splitting apart. In the deepest darkness of the sky, an old, cold voice said, "Time to strike." Boom. The sky cracked. Unrivaled aura descended from the sky upon the Heavenly Tao Academy, as if a true god was tearing apart the sky, about to descend and destroy the Heavenly Tao Academy. The old, aloof voice echoed from the sky. "Your Heavenly Tao Academy ignores its students committing violence and academy." Many great World Academy students were angry. Everyone personally saw that Zhu Huangwu and the Azure Profound Heavenly Sun wanted to kill Li Qiye. Now, the words from the person in the sky twisted the truth. The head of the Sacred World Academy appeared. "Fellow Taoists, please return." The head of the Sacred World Academy said in a deep voice. "The Heavenly Tao Academy's affairs will be resolved by the Heavenly Tao Academy." Resolved? Is this your way of resolving it? The voice echoed in the sky. "If your Heavenly Tao Academy does not give an explanation today, this matter will not be easily dismissed." The head of the Sacred World Academy said in a deep voice. "If fellow Taoists refuse to leave, do not blame the Heavenly Tao Academy for drawing the butcher knife." In the Eastern 100 Cities, the Heavenly Tao Academy's status was no less than the Long River schools. The Heavenly Tao Academy had gone through countless storms. When had it ever been threatened? The voice rang out. "Indeed, your Heavenly Tao Academy has fallen into the demonic path." The voice was ruthless and aggressive. "Today, we will eliminate the demons for the Eastern 100 Cities." Boom. In this instant, the sky cracked. A divine altar appeared above the Heavenly Tao Academy. The divine altar was incredibly mysterious, concealing all heavenly secrets. Even the strongest powerhouses who opened their divine eyes could only vaguely see people standing within. Not just one person. More terrifyingly, they wielded unrivaled weapons, forming an extremely massive killing array. Imperial weapon. Although the divine altar concealed all heavenly secrets, when powerful old undying figures wielded unrivaled weapons, it was difficult to conceal their aura. The people who fled the Heavenly Tao Academy had their faces pale. No, this is not just an imperial weapon. There is imperial qi descending from the altar. The layers of defense shattered. At this moment, countless cultivators who had fled the Heavenly Tao Academy were suppressed by the unrivaled divine might. Ancient saints, saint sovereigns, and even saint emperors were crushed to the ground by the unrivaled power, unable to resist. The unrivaled divine might was immense, as if an immortal emperor had returned and a true god had descended. The divine might suppressed everything. The entire Heavenly Tao Academy's defense, which had withstood countless attacks, shattered like thin paper. Boom. The final strike slammed heavily into the Heavenly Tao Academy's territory. 100,000 miles of heaven and earth were shattered. Countless colossal imperial seals beneath the Heavenly Tao Academy's ground shot up, destroyed by the unrivaled strike. The attack not only made the Heavenly Tao Academy powerless like paper, but the entire Eastern 100 Cities was shaken. The supreme attack made the Eastern 100 Cities feel like a small boat in a storm, about to be destroyed at any moment. Today, countless sentient beings were terrified. Countless cultivators were suppressed and knelt on the ground. Several immortal emperor treasures flew out. Not just one immortal emperor true weapon was deployed. This was a sign that the heaven and earth were about to be shattered. An old undying figure in the Eastern 100 Cities, unwilling to get involved in this matter, widened his eyes and said in horror, "Is the Heavenly Tao Academy about to perish?" Many cultivators who had already fled the Heavenly Tao Academy were terrified and stunned. Not just one immortal emperor treasure. Not just one immortal emperor true weapon. Too terrifying. The falling wind flower had always been the protective treasure of emperor lineage immortal gates, not easily deployed. Today, the Heavenly Tao Academy had several immortal emperor true weapons. The Heavenly Tao Academy's ground. The dark shadows concealed their heavenly secrets. No one could see their true faces or know their origins. When the dark shadows fell into the Heavenly Tao Academy, they immediately rushed toward the deepest parts, the places where the most secret arts and treasures were hidden. Defend. The elders of the academies, the grand elders, and the academy heads, who had been silent, suddenly appeared to protect the divine halls and ancient palaces in the ancestral territory. Rumble, 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 rumble. Explosions rang out. The divine halls and ancient palaces containing the most precious treasures and secret arts of the Heavenly Tao Academy deployed layers of defense. Great Tao laws locked the sky. Kill. Many elders, protectors, and grand elders fought the dark shadows descending from the sky, protecting the Heavenly Tao Academy's treasures. In an instant, blood splattered. Screams echoed continuously. Treasures flew into the sky, attacking the enemy. Blood stained the ground. Corpses fell. Seeing the scene, the cultivators who had already fled the Heavenly Tao Academy whispered. The second cleansing incense ancient sect. In the past, the cleansing incense ancient sect was defeated by the Sacred Heaven sect. Besides the legendary decline of the cleansing incense ancient sect, rumors suggested that when this ancient lineage was defeated, other emperor lineage immortal gates were involved. Rumors said that someone concealed the heavenly secrets at that time. I fear the Heavenly Tao Academy is about to repeat the tragedy of the cleansing incense ancient sect. Some were students who had graduated from the Heavenly Tao Academy, but facing this situation, no one could help. Several immortal emperor treasures suppressed the situation. More than one immortal emperor true weapon was slaying. In the darkness, who knows how many old undying figures were striking. Now, forget ancient saints. Even saint sovereigns and saint emperors who rushed forward would surely die. The old voice echoed from the divine altar. Feudal struggle. A stream of imperial light slashed down, shattering the defense of a divine hall. Boom. More than 10 protectors and the head of the Great World Academy protecting the divine hall were instantly killed. Seeing the Academy head slain, many Great World Academy students shouted in hatred. Academy head. To the Great World Academy students, the head of the Great World Academy was very friendly, lecturing them and answering their questions. But today, he died tragically at the hands of the enemy. Some Great World Academy students wished they could rush forward and fight too. The death to avenge the head of the Great World Academy. But the divine altar in the sky suppressed them. Those with shallow cultivation like them could not stand up. They were completely suppressed by the unrivaled divine might, unable to move. Thank you for listening to the story on KTN Storyverse. Please like and subscribe to support the channel.